A young black teen knocks at the wrong house to pick up his kid brothers and is shot. A white nationalist murders 23 people after ranting online about the Hispanic invasion of Texas. The Anti-Defamation League reports the highest number of incidents at synagogues and centers since 1979. For all, hate is the common denominator, and it's just a small sampling. The Precinct Reporter hosted our Stop the Hate Luncheon at Cal State San Bernardino on May 11th. The special guest keynote speakers were Deborah Jones, a nurse from the San Bernardino Community Hospital, and Cal State University San Bernardino's very own Dr. Brian Levin. The Stop the Hate Luncheon is sponsored by the Precinct Reporter as part of the Stop the Hate program joint venture of the California Commission and the Asian and Pacific Islander American Affairs, and the California State Library aims to build public awareness of the Stop the Hate program administered by the California Department of Social Services, which provides support and services to victims and survivors of hate incidents and hate crimes. First and foremost, the Master of Ceremony, Cal State San Bernardino's own Catherine Irvin, a theater arts professor, begins with introducing the head honcho, Mr. Brian Townsend, whom is the owner of the Precinct Reporter, to deliver a brief speech on stopping the hate.
Somebody that hates you is trying to keep you from going after the American dream. It's all about the American dream. There is no America. We're all from somewhere else. And those that are not, or who are from here, are part of a genocide. So we're all survivors of a hard past trying to create a great future. America's a great country, not because of what she is, but because of what she wants to be. That's what makes America great.
Shortly after Mr. Townsend's speech ended, the Maura Townsend Dance Project begins a performance themed We Matter, which represents many women who fell victim to sexual assault during the Me Too movement era. After the dance performance ended, Miss Deborah Jones was called to the stage to give her speech. Miss Jones discusses that the San Bernardino Community Hospital is very aware that the people that lives in their community population are the poor and the disenfranchised, which means the lack of access to many health benefits that other upper-class areas have access to. Ms. Jones also stated that it's very necessary to treat every patient as if they were their own family member. A smile and a "may I help you" gesture crosses all boundary lines. After Ms. Jones introduces herself to the luncheon crowd, she shares a brief story about her childhood on how after the watch riots ended, multiple cultural events took place at the Will Rogers State Park in Los Angeles, California. As Ms. Jones and her family arrives to the state park, they encounter a brief stint of police brutality from a group of law enforcement officers.
Riots. I don't know if any of you are old enough to even remember the Watts riot, but there was a Watts riot. We didn't live very far from it. After the Watts riot calmed down, there was a cultural event that was happening in a park called Will Rogers Park. The purpose of it was to bring us together, to build more pride in ourselves, and look at the accomplishments we had done as Black people. Now, I was just a child then, and as children, my brothers and sisters and I wanted to go and visit this park to see. We wanted to find out more about ourselves, because before that time, we didn't even understand who we were. You know, color wasn't matter. We all kind of just lived in the neighborhood and we grew up. We just grew up in the neighborhood, and whoever you saw, whoever you played with, that's what you did. But we went to that park, cultural events, and they had different foods, music, books, jewelry, things that people were selling. We arrived there, we found parking, and got out of the car to park. So again, we were just children. We were in elementary school. My brother was with us, and so was my sister. We were all elementary school young people. I don't even think we were in the 6th grade yet. When we got out of the car, we saw police rushing. And we didn't know, several of them just rushing, just running. And then they stopped at us, so we were just getting out of the car. And for some reason, they grabbed my brother, who was just a little thin boy in elementary school, and pushed him up on the car. I guess they were looking for somebody and they thought he was him. My sister got upset and said, "What are you doing with my brother?" They pushed her up against the car as well. I was quiet. I didn't say anything because I didn't know what was going to happen next. But after they did what they did, they proceeded to go wherever they needed to go to find whoever they needed to find. But I will tell you, that painted my picture of a world that didn't seem fair or didn't appreciate me for who I am or what my brother or sisters were.
And last but not least, Dr. Brian Levin speaks on his 24-year journey at Cal State University San Bernardino after spending some time doing activism work in the state of Alabama. Dr. Levin stated that if we as a people spend time to provide inclusion for everybody, we are truly doing God's work. Dr. Levin also enlightened the crowd that he had the honor to work on the Hate Crime Statistics Act with former President George W. Bush. At the end of the luncheon, Dr. Levin received various amounts of awards, including an award from the Board of Supervisors, San Bernardino County, State of California, for his phenomenal contributions in the field of fighting against hatred and extremism.
On behalf of the Board of Supervisors of San Bernardino County, State of California does hereby recognize Professor Brian Levin for his exceptional contributions to the field of hate and extremism, research, policy development, and advocacy. Further, the members of this board express their gratitude to Professor Levin for his tireless commitment to promoting social justice, inclusion, and diversity in San Bernardino County and beyond. Thank you and congratulations.
More information is in our e-edition. Thank you for tuning in to the Precinct Reporter.